Right, you're joining me in the hothouse, or if you're new to this channel, it's this kind of a big double glazed greenhouse. I call it the hothouse. It has been very hot over summer, but it's going to be a bit cooler over winter. Obviously, I don't heat this as such, I just keep it frost free, so I have a very small heater which will just keep it above the freezing point. But yeah, it's been quite a successful summer in here. I thought I'd do a video, as I haven't done one in here for a while. I have been moving some plants out, mainly the tropical palms and the house plants. They're all indoors now, so I've sort of thinned it out in here a bit as regards to sort of potted plants, but I will be having some plants come in from the garden into here to give them a bit of winter protection. Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff in here, obviously. Some things are done quite well. I mean, we know what the summer's been like outside, but the summer in here has been good. So I have brought in some of the more tender colocaceas just to let them dry out a bit, really. Get them nice and dry for winter, and I'll just store them in their pots dry, somewhere frost free. They should be fine. So I'm talking the likes of the what we got here. This is the Aloha. We've got Redemption. We've got some Blue Hawaii. Just kind of stuff which probably, well, it's not going to survive outside, and I'm going to try and make it easy on myself. Just dry the pots out, keep them frost free, start them off again next year, and then we'll repot them at that point when they start growing again. Yeah, so a lot of stuff has come in. Well, not a lot has come in yet, but a lot of stuff will be coming in. Brought in the some of the, like I say, the more tender stuff, and we're looking at the Hilo Beauty here, which is a caladium that's done quite well. Really nice, unusual pattern on the leaf on that one. And another caladium here, which is the Red Flash. Don't know if it's coming out well on video because it's sort of backlit at the moment, but that's really nice. So I'm going to be making some changes next year, so this is a bit all over the place video, just as I'm going to say it as I see it. So this is where I just had a bench in the past. This is going to be a new raised bed along here. So I have sort of semi-filled it with horse manure and some turf that I dug out the garden a few weeks back to make a new bedding area in the back garden. If you haven't seen that video, this is what I meant when I said raised border. So again, I just got to top this up with sort of all these plants in here are in pots at the minute, so they'll be coming out, and I'll be having some permanent plantings in here next year. Nice sort of raised permanent plantings. We've got a little pond in the middle, so that's just literally on a little solar panel at the moment, so that's just running a little pump just to keep the water circulating. And we're going to continue the raised plantings along here to meet up with the permanent raised plantings at the back here. So I have moved a few bits in, like I said. I've got some avocado trees here which I've grown from seed a few years back, both from exactly the same batch of avocados that I just bought from the supermarket. Exactly the same batch, but very different looking. They never come true, I believe, when you grow them from seed. But yeah, so we've got some which these ones tend to be quite a limey green colour, and these ones are quite a dark, but they're both exactly the same batch of seeds I grew from. Little update which I haven't got round to doing, which I'll just do a quick one now for you. So at the very beginning of the year, if you have watched any of my videos, I do sort of do a few seeds at the beginning of the year when you get excited about the new season coming up. And I've done some lychees. Brought some lychees from Aldi supermarket, cheap, and decided to plant the seeds up. So we have got some little lychee trees from that, which is these. So I did nearly let these die totally, sort of forgot about them, but repotted them now, so you can still see the seed attached. And that's a little lychee tree there. And we've got a few of them dotted about. So that was a sort of semi-success because they germinated and I sort of forgot about them. They practically died, and then I sort of brought them back and they're coming back right now. Right, so let's look at the back permanent plantings. There's going to have to be changes next year. The Jack's Giant Colocasia done very well this year. Sort of mid-summer hit its peak. So I did cut a leaf off, done a specific video on that and measured it, and that was sort of basically 4 foot long by 3 foot wide. It's a pretty big leaf. That hasn't really got as big since, but that's been flowering and doing lots of sort of offsets, but that is probably the biggest leaf on there at the moment, and I'm not going to do it justice by putting my hand on it, but it is massive. It is probably a good 3.5, probably pushing 4 foot. Yeah, several big leaves on that still. It's hard to get in when you're holding the camera. Even some of the small ones. This is a little offset from the main Jack's Giant, and that's well over 2 foot. I have took a lot of offsets off, but yeah, I'm going to be digging that out anyway, the Jack's Giant, because that's basically just took over the whole back wall in here. I've enjoyed having it this year, but that can't remain next year. I want to do something different. Some of the other permanent planters have done quite well. So we have got some gingers. So this is Hedychium Dr. Moy. Sort of variegated leaf ginger. That's done well. The flower spike just gone over on that one, but looking at this one I can see there's a new flower spike coming there. Yeah, some of the other colocasias done okay. So we've got the lemon lime there. Nothing massive, but really nice leaves nonetheless. Got Bird of Paradise, sort of standard form. We have got this is actually just a Colocasia which I got from the Asian supermarket in town. So that's just like a Yataro. I think that's about sort of 50 pence for a small bulb, and that's the sort of size you get from the wild form. It's, I don't know, 1.5 foot. We've got the Kentia palms. So we've got one this side and one the other side, sort of mirror image, same as with the Bird of Paradise, and they've done well in here. We've got the giant Bird of Paradise, which has pushed out a new leaf. This is going to quickly outgrow the hothouse because that new leaf is a few inches away from touching the ceiling, and it's got another leaf spike coming there, which is not going to open till next year, but that has done rather well. Another success story for this year is this Monstera look-alike, and it's not a Monstera. I've been guilty of calling it a Monstera in the past. It's not. It is, and the name escapes me, something decursifer, but it's like very much like a Monstera, but a little bit hardier. And beginning of this year, that was literally at the sort of wall level here, and this summer that's grown right up. So I really want that to grow all the way across the ceiling at some point. So this side, so we had the little lemon limes this side, which they did go in mid-season, so they've not sort of established themselves very well. This side we have got the what is this, Marigold Colocasia, and really nice sort of limey green on this. That's been doing very well, pumping out leaves all summer. It is again sort of flowering at the moment. We can see that yellow flower there. Still pushing out new leaves. Again, not really as big as the height of the season, but some of the leaves are still well over 2 foot. They did get sort of pretty close to 3 foot at one point, but again, it's sort of getting towards the end of the season now. So again, we've got another bird of paradise here, which threw out a couple of flowers for me this year. We've got the Kentia palm outside, which is probably done just as well as the one the other side. We've got a Monstera deliciosa at the back there. You see it's just opened up a new leaf. And another plant that's going to have to come out next year. We can't see it behind this big leaf here, but we've actually got a Cyagarus coronata, which is similar to a queen palm, but it's more of a silvery back to the leaf. That is just in a pot. Everything else is permanently planted along here, but this is in a pot, so I can just pull that out, hopefully if it's not rooted in too much. And yeah, that's touching the ceiling and bending over. That's done well as well. So yes, I've brought the Cyathea cooperi in. I let this dry out a bit too much when we had that dry period, and then some of the leaves did brown off, but we can see I've still got some nice big fronds on that. That is, when I bought this a good few years ago now, I'm going to say at least 6 years ago, it was $13.99. Very small plant, and sort of 3 trunks to that, as it were now. That stays in here over winter, that's fine, just to sort of, as long as I don't get a frost, that is absolutely fine. I'll keep the leaves and everything. Yeah, so in general, winding down for the season, like the gardening. This, if I had the money, I would heat this to a tropical extent and put true tropical plants in here, but as it is, we've just got sort of subtropical stroke tender plants in here. That would cost a fortune to heat. Yeah, so we've got some Phoenix Robellini, which will stay in here over winter. Another one down here. Again, just sort of random plants everywhere. Like I say, most of the plants I have taken in now. Some I haven't. The Leucoacacia Thai Giant, bit of a disappointment. I got it to a reasonable size in here in the hothouse, put it out in the garden, and the weather was never really hot enough for it to do well, so the leaves got smaller and smaller rather than bigger and bigger. So we've brought it back in here now, again just to dry it out. But interestingly, I've got 2 of these. One, let's have a look at the one over here first. I have just been cutting a few dead leaves off down here. Yeah, so that's number 1, Thai Giant, which again, like I say, leaves got smaller and smaller, but in general they don't tend to pup. So that's a good example of what they look like. They just don't tend to pup until they get a good few years old. They don't really grow a rhizome until a few years, but this one for some reason has. So the main plant we can see is here. We've got a smaller one that's come out the sides. I will take that off and bring it indoors for winter, and I've actually got another one here which is, as we can see, started to root, and so that is ready to come off. Well, it has come off. Look, so that is a little tiny Thai Giant, and I have grown these from seed in the past, and they grow quick in the right conditions. But yeah, so we've got a couple of little ones I can bring indoors for insurance purposes, and the big ones I'll probably just let die. I'll leave them in here, they ain't gonna survive. Yeah, so I think we'll leave it there. Like I say, a bit of a mess. I've still got to sort out food plants, cut back, dry out. But in general, you know, it's the end of the season, things are starting to go over. That'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to dig out any of the collocations at the back there until the new year. I know last year that the Jack's Giant did actually keep a leaf all winter. So, but now it's a lot bigger. I don't know if it will. But we'll see. That doesn't matter. That's it is what it is at the end of the day. That's, you know, we expect this time of year to see the plants die down a bit. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. That's just a, like I say, just a little sort of random update of the hothouse with a couple of little updates on other plants as well. Before I go, I'll give you another random update if you like. So I have got this sago palm here, which was in the garden and totally died back 22-23 winter, and you can see actually now, look, that is all totally rotted. The base of that's turned to nothing. That's just fell apart in my hand. But we can see all there's about 6 little babies around it. So next year, now that the main plant is rotted off, I will divide them up and we'll have 5 or 6 little baby sago palms there. So never give up on your plants, even though it looks like it's dead. Sometimes the roots are still alive and they will push new growth. Right. Any questions? Don't be afraid to ask. I'll always try and get back to people. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.